Right, Clarets fan reaction. West Ham 3, Burnley 2. We've thrown that away um, from the jaws of victory. We've snatched a defeat. That's the best way I can describe it. It's, a few weeks ago when we played Wolves and we looked like we were controlling the game, and then we let them get back into it, thanks to a silly penalty and a goal just before half time, which gave the crowd confidence and belief. And thankfully we were able to nick the goal in the last minute. Today's what would have happened against Wolves, against a better side, and we saw that. We can't hold on to a lead, which obviously sounds strange because it's only 2 games it's happening, I think, where we've gone in front and not held on to it. But there's just no. Don't want to say there's no fight to hold on for the lead, because there is fight, and that's all you want and all you can ask for. But there just didn't seem to be the belief there. After, especially when they drew level, there didn't seem to be a belief that we could go on and put ourselves back in front. And yeah, it's disappointing because that first half, I thought first 5 minutes we started slow, but we grew into it, and then we eventually got control of the game. And I thought we were much the better side, especially up until we scored. Fleming scored that superb header, by the way, which I've put it on Twitter. It was Sam Vokes-esque. It was channeling his inner Sam Vokes, and it is superb football with the build up to it. And Big Les, who I thought was one of the shining stars today, puts a superb ball in, and Fleming, like I say, channeling his inner Sam Vokes, and it's a great header to get us in front. But yeah, like I say, we've after that, I thought West Ham sort of grew back into it, but I thought we were still on top. And there's the moment when we've broken and Loom's got the ball on the wing, and he puts the ball across, and it just doesn't fall to Anthony. I think it's Wan-Bissaka just gets a touch to it. And obviously if things had gone different there, if different decision had been made, or he put the ball over the top and it does get to Anthony and he's able to score, we go 2-0 up and it's a completely different, well, I say completely different game again. We saw what happened at Wolves, but it gives us a bit more confidence to hold on to it. And it's just disappointing. Like I say, second half, I didn't think we were as good. I think second half, both teams started how they really started the first, and it was a bit cagey, a little bit hard to get into. And really, it was like that until they scored the second, and I was certain it was offside, and watching it back, it's not offside. It just is what it is. But I feel like we could have done better for the defending for that one. I feel like all 3 goals, to be fair, for West Ham, we could have done better. Certainly the third one, I think Dubravka, as much as we've waxed lyrical about him this season and how we've said he's been the signing of the season and people have said player of the season, and how well he has done and how much he's kept us in games. I think today was his worst game in a Burnley shirt, and that third goal, he could have kept hold of it. He could have parried it in a different direction, and I think he has tried to get hold of it and pull it into himself, and it's just fallen to Walker Peters. And like I said, we've given a team that had not really a lot of confidence. I know obviously they beat Newcastle last week, but a team that didn't really have a lot of confidence, and we've given it them. And like I say, the similar situation to what happened at Wolves, there was easily a chance for us to cause some unrest in the stands and, take advantage of that uncertainty that West Ham are in at the minute. But we weren't able to do it. And then, the subs, I think this is 2 weeks in a row, 3 weeks in a row that I'm going to question Parker's subs. For me, I thought Les was playing really well, and he's decided to take him off. Hartman, I thought, was having a really good game down that left hand side. Didn't seem to be any injury or anything. Takes him off for Perez. I know that I backed Perez a lot last season and thought that he grew into his role and thought he was getting better, but in a game like today when we are, chasing it, and how well Hartman has done this season and how well he played today, I think taking him off for Perez was a massive mistake. But obviously at that point, we were chasing the game. But yeah, I think Edwards, when he came on that corner at the end, sort of justifies why he doesn't come on and why he doesn't play. And what I've been saying all along, where he gets into the box and he's just trying to beat his man every time, rather than put the ball across or put a cross in or anything. And that's exactly what he did. Apart from that, when he came on, I thought he was anonymous. I thought Anthony was anonymous today. I thought Hannibal, when he came on, looked like he wanted to get forward, looked like he wanted to attack, and obviously his long range effort has ended up with Areola, dropping the ball and Cullen being able to pull one back. But it was just a little too late at that point. I think it were our last touch at ball really with that goal. So yeah, it's just one of them where it's disappointing, and I think as the season started and the season were going on a little bit, I was strongly growing into the belief that we can stay up. And today was a good chance to put a bit of daylight between us and the teams in the bottom three, and now the only reason we're not in the bottom three is thanks to goal difference, and it could become massive at the end of the season, and I think that's why Cullen's goal was so crucial at the end. But it's just disappointing to throw away a lead, especially against a team, that we are fighting relegation with. A team that is struggling with the unrest and uncertainty that they are at West Ham at the minute. But yeah, it's just disappointing, innit? Like I said, we snatched defeat from the jaws of victory, because at half time I didn't feel like we deserved to be, level. I thought we deserved to be further in front than we were. Before they were able to get their goal, and then, second half, thought West Ham were the better team. I'm not going to stand here and say they weren't good. They didn't grow into the game, but I think we've given them that opportunity more than they have. They were good enough for that, but like I said, it's just disappointing. To throw away a lead like that, it's just disappointing. But it's international break now, so at least we can get our feet up and have a little bit of a rest. The lads that haven't been called up, obviously. And then, back home against Chelsea. So this Premier League don't get easier, does it? Don't get easier. Up the Clarets.